Alright, so we are recording. This is a playtest of Worlds of Adventure. It's October 17th, and it's the day of release of this game, at least the preliminary version of it. And I'm here with Alex and Lauren. Uh, yes, it seems like everybody is in the call, so this is good. So, just to give some basic background info, I've played Dungeon World. Actually, I've never played Dungeon World as a player. I've only ever GM'd Dungeon World. And I think I've run the game about 8 or 9 times. Anyone else have some experience with this game?
Nothing yet.
Okay, zero experience. And Lauren, do you have any experience with Dungeon World?
I have like literally none, which I think
Okay, so
about. So I feel like everyone else has played it, but me.
yeah, I'm trying to think of how I ended up playing it. I think it's because I think the first time I played the game, I might have been playing the hack of the game that I wrote that was like the preliminary version of my Bloodborne RPG. So I think I started out playing a hack of the game and then I played the actual game afterwards. But
I don't. I'm the same because there's the other World of Dungeons that we've been playing, so that's about as close as I've gotten.
right, yeah, we've played a lot of World of Dungeons. Yeah, that's something we can mention. But actual Dungeon World, I have played a number of times, or I've run it a number of times for friends and family. So I am familiar with that. This is our first time trying out Worlds of Adventure. So, you both have classes selected. Alex, you're playing a cleric, and Lauren, you're playing a paladin.
Yep.
Okay, and we're just working on character creation here. So, I'm just gonna ask some questions. I've got a little procedure here that I kind of made by looking at the original Dungeon World text and trying to figure out the order that would be equivalent in this game. So first, you chose your class. Second, your background. So if you could pick a background from the sheet here. Here we are, the cleric. And so, Alex, what background were you leaning towards here?
Um,
Your options are War Priest, Surgeon, or Pilgrim.
I think I'll go for War Priest.
Alright, your faith was tempered upon the battlefield, and you will leave none behind. You take +1 to defend someone or something else. Interesting. So the cleric is going to be defending the paladin. That's going to be
Oh well,
interesting.
will be fun.
Alright, cool. So the cleric is a war priest. Uh-huh. And the paladin. Your backgrounds
Yeah,
are
there are
Judge, Meek, and Hero.
a lot of good paladins. I guess when I was thinking paladin, I was thinking like that really annoying a pious
Mm-hmm.
paladin who preaches a lot about selflessness and honor, but they're actually quite prideful and self-righteous.
Yep. Your sort
um,
of classic lawful asshole paladin.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, so it could be. I think it might be Hero in that case, is where I'm leaning. What do you think?
Yeah, that's sort of like in pursuit of one's drive sounds.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, yeah, because all the drives are also fantastic. Like deny mercy to a criminal heretic or unbeliever,
Yeah, totally.
punish the innocent.
Okay, good. So the next thing we're gonna do here is the name. Pick a name.
I'm always down for names beginning with A, so I might go for Alpha.
Aelfar. Okay, Aelfar the cleric. Very good. Okay. Aelfar the war priest. And Paladin, what is your name?
Let's go for Octavia. It sounds like a really
Octavia? Alright. Aelfar and Octavia. Um, very good. And next up, we have your look.
I'm in a big parody of like I was saying I'm human. I was like, I
What was that, sorry?
Yeah, you cut out completely there.
oh, sorry. I might even like at a good point that I might just jump onto my phone because I don't trust this internet this evening.
It is notoriously unreliable. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so anyone can go first with their look once you've got it figured out.
Awesome. I'll, if Alex, you want to go, I'll just quickly try and hop onto my phone without killing anyone's ears again.
All right.
Sweet as. Okay, so quick fire going through the list.
Uh huh.
I'm thinking female,
Uh huh.
human,
Uh huh.
with kind eyes,
Okay.
like shaved bald hair,
Okay,
and
bald.
ornate
Yeah.
robes.
Ornate robes. Okay.
Yeah, and thin body.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Um. So so you're bald and okay. So all right. So is your church like wealthy then that you have ornate robes?
I'd figure that. Yeah, like some kind
Okay.
of well-respected
Okay.
religion or
Okay. So it's like a respectable
powerful.
established church.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. Good. How are we doing?
Good.
Laura?
I'm good.
Okay, good. So, what's your look, Octavia?
Excellent. Sorry, Alex, could you run me quickly through your look again?
Oh, it was female human with
Hmm.
kind eyes, hair shaved bald, and ornate robes with a thin body.
Ah, cool, cool, cool. Yes. So in that case, will go female human.
Okay.
Um, with fiery eyes, styled hair,
Mm-hmm.
um, with a worn holy symbol.
Worn holy symbol. Okay. Okay. So, do you get like a body option as well?
I can't see one on the sheet.
Oh no, you don't. Okay.
Yeah,
Um.
I don't have a body.
Yeah. Yeah. You just you're a collection of peripheral bodily attributes. Okay.
And
Interesting.
justice.
Yeah, and justice. Yes. So your holy symbol is worn. Okay, well, do you belong to the same church as Aelfar, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. That makes sense.
Okay, so why is your holy symbol worn? If it's like this well-respected, established church, why do you have this worn out a holy symbol?
So that came from sort of my mother and her mother before her and her mother before her, since our family line has always served in this capacity for the church
Okay.
and are defenders of clerics and holy types.
Great. Okay. Got it. Um, Next, we have your stats. So pick your stats. The way we do that is listed at the right beside stats on that second part of your character sheet. +2, +1, +1, +0, +0, -1.
I also noticed Richie just asked if there's a game I could see if he wants to join.
Yeah, sure. Totally. We're still in character creation, so.
Cool, cool.
And I suspect he may have had a chance to play Dungeon World before, so that would...
Yeah, that'll be an interesting mix to get
Mhm.
feedback from.
Yes. So yeah, as far as the character sheet goes, you can just ignore like the strength stat, excuse me, the strength stat and everything, and just put the modifier in, because that's all you use in this game instead of having like, you know, 1 to 18 strength or whatever.
Cool.
Sweet ass.
All right, so have you figured out your stats, perhaps?
I haven't, but that's because the internet is fighting with me.
Okay.
uh, yeah. But I feel like I'm probably gonna go for like
So as
yeah.
the as far as the paladin goes, you're typically looking at using charisma as your main stat. And because you took hero, no, it doesn't affect your rolls at all. So yeah, So you just go with charisma as your +2, and then figure out the rest.
That sounds good. I feel like I don't know that I gave it too much, but I was looking at the move book. I noticed a lot were wisdom based. But
Yeah, in the extra moves.
yeah.
Is that so?
But I kind of feel like strength. I feel like charisma, strength, and con is probably like a good typical
Yeah, I'm not seeing any here
paladin set
that
of moves.
use wisdom.
Oh, maybe
That might have been the cleric you were looking at,
that may have been
because the cleric's main stat is wisdom. And there
yeah.
is like a thing that, like, if you take judge as your background as the paladin, you can roll with wisdom instead of charisma.
That's what I was thinking.
So yeah, I think you're pretty much good with just putting charisma as your top stat, and then yeah, whatever else, strength and con is good too if you're gonna be a fighty paladin.
I feel like I'm gonna be a fighty paladin.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get quite enough like anger up from last week when we didn't get up enough old ladies.
All right. So let's carry on. We'll see if we get another player here or not. And the next thing we're gonna do is the starting moves. So pick your starting moves. Oh right. You pick you take all your basic moves or make the choices you need to make for your basic moves, and then you also pick one advanced move to begin with.
Cool.
So as the cleric, you have probably the most important thing to do here because you are going to define what your deity is, and I think that's going to be consequential for both characters. So,
Mm.
so you serve and worship a deity who grants you power. Give your god a name, maybe Helferf, Sukelis, Zorica, or Krugon the Bleak.
No balls?
Then define your deity's domains by filling in each answer. What they control, what they represent, who their worshippers are, who their enemies are, and what their demands are. So first, let's get a name for this god. Or goddess. Or ambiguous god thing.
I like ambiguous god thing.
Okay. What is their name?
Uh, it's hard to talk
So-
Krugon the Bleak.
Krugon the Bleak? I thought you had this elaborate ornate church, and then Krugon the
Oh, yeah,
Bleak comes in.
true.
No, it's Alex. It's fine. I'm fine with being very just and passionate about being bleak. That's
I mean, there is always the random deity name generator on the internet if you wish to go in that direction, which is usually how I deal with these things.
You know what? I might just do that. Give me a second.
we also found out the IKEA manual is a very good place. To
Oh,
start
right.
everything.
Yeah, if you're playing like a Viking game.
Yeah,
Yeah, totally.
sort of a funny character.
Yeah, right. For those listening, it is a reference to our World of Dungeons game. So I'm gonna look up some god names too. Deity random name generator. God and goddess name generator. I guess so. Ooh.
Oh,
How about Azara?
Azara, okay. We are looking at Azara. Okay. Azara. So that's Azara.
IZARA.
Oh. Izara. Okay. Got it. Good. Okay, so Izara, and define your deity's domains by filling in each answer. So what do they control? For example, the sun, the seas, the skies, or what else? Something else.
I'm down for the sun. Oh, what do you want, Lauren?
oh, the
This is
sunset.
like in both of my gods.
Okay, so they are a sun deity. They, them.
The reason we don't know what form they take is because they shine so bright that one will
Right.
their gaze.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's be consumed by holy fire.
They're just too luminous to have a gender. Okay, so what do they represent? Love, death, war, wind, etc. Something else?
I mean, fire or light is the obvious ones. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
it's a bit too obvious.
Yeah, that might be a little bit too close to the reference there. So yeah, if you think about, I mean, if you think about sun gods traditionally, I don't know, are there any sun goddesses? I can't think of any at the moment. But
I only know Amun Ra from
Right.
Egyptian
yeah,
and Ra from Maori in New Zealand. Both are male. But
yeah,
that's,
There's, to be the total weep here, there's Amaterasu from Japan.
oh my god, I forgot
there you
that.
go.
I should have.
I should have thought of that.
Likewise.
I think
I
I
read
was
Wicked and Divine.
I think I was just thinking about the wolf form of Amaterasu instead of their sun form. Yeah, of course. That's where I live in Japan. Yeah. Uh-huh. All right. Well, now that I'm humiliated thoroughly, so anyway, so yeah, what does Amaterasu represent? She represents like what, good harvests, and I don't know. It's really kind of ambiguous. But typically, I think sun gods are usually about like rulership, majesty. Um, what else? Like art. Sometimes maybe they're connected to like, well, yeah, like reason. Mm, yeah, I don't know. There's this. Just trying to think through more examples here. Like time, like the calendar, right, can be related to that. Um, uh,
I'm down for time.
Time. Okay. Wow. Okay, this could get weird. The gender neutral, or yeah, time deity. Okay. Wow. This is like the paladin of time is gonna be really weird. Is all I can say. Okay. So.
I'm very punctual. I'm very,
Well,
very
I hope
punctual.
so.
I get real pissed.
Oh, what if your divine symbol is a pocket watch and it's worn because you're always checking the time?
Oh my god. That is so good.
Oh, it's really good. Okay. So, their worshippers. Who are their worshippers? Are they nobles, dwarves, wizards, someone else?
I feel like if they're like the respected religion,
Mm-hmm.
it'll be like the higher ups of society with the main worshippers. So I'd say nobles.
The nobles? Okay. Wow, I wonder, why is the nobility interested in time? Why is that interesting?
They want more of it.
Do they? Because usually, like, as far as my impression of nobles is that they're like, like, you know, we're just gonna hang around and drink and gamble all day. So, like, I associate like time watching with like monks and like merchants, right? Or engineers. But nobles are,
interesting.
you know, they're usually about like either fighting wars or getting really drunk. But
I was thinking more like pursuing time so you can do more of those things. Like
right.
The one thing they can't get more of is time to escape mortality kind of angle.
Okay, so I think that's an angle.
But
what do you think, Alex? This is your god, so or
I like the
your
aspect
divinity.
Of, like, people worshipping the god so that they can live longer. Like it's like if you the whole fear aspect.
So this is about longevity.
Yeah.
Because we didn't tackle enough dark themes.
Yeah, no, I mean, of course, it'll be fine. So, like, maybe it's like time, but also health. Like, is that's like also a thing that this divinity represents?
I feel like we've created CrossFit.
Oh. Okay.
You thought you were in for a serious game.
It's okay. It's Dungeon World. It's not supposed to be super serious. Well, I mean, it can be, but it doesn't have to be. Okay, so who are their enemies? Demons, the undead, heretics, etc.
Oh. feel like it's if the precipice. There, I can't speak today. If the concept is like living longer, then maybe like demons wouldn't be happy about that because they're all about like mortal souls and having people die a lot.
Yeah. Okay. So it's kind of like the underworld, right?
Mm.
Like it just reminds me of like in like Journey to the West, where Monkey has like that like whole thing where he goes to the underworld and he's like, I'm not supposed to be dead. Like I already like performed requirements X, Y, and Z so that I wouldn't have to get sent here and die. And like then he like has this whole like battle with the bureaucracy of the underworld about like trying to get his name struck off the list of people who are supposed to be dead. So just like yeah, like the underworld needs souls, right? So they're like, come on guys, like, you know, you gotta give us some souls here, otherwise we're gonna be bored, right?
That's amazing.
Journey to the West, very good, by the way. Okay, and what their demands are. Do they demand sacrifices, secrets, victory, or something else?
I'm down for sacrifices. It's always a good staple.
Okay. What kind of sacrifices? What kind of sacrifices does Izara demand?
I'd say animal. Something living.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, great rabbis.
Yeah, stealing time from other people.
Okay.
Oh, and or creatures.
So this is a blood magic cult. Okay, great.
We're a cult now.
Cool. So we must immolate the living so that we may live longer.
Can I just say, on record, I'm real happy that I decided I was 100% dedicated to this before we started making it.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I just wrote sacrifices in brackets, immolate the living. Excellent. Very good. Okay, I believe that is all the basic move stuff you need to do as the cleric. So choose one advanced move, and let's take a look at the paladin here. Okay, so devout virtue. You adhere to a strict moral code that grants you power beyond that wielded by normal folk. Choose two of the following vows: justice, mercy, courage, purity, loyalty, or penitence. Which one do you want?
Geez. Oh, where's this list again? Sorry, is it on the PDF?
It is on. There's no page numbers, but page 22 of the PDF.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see the virtue. Cool. Lit. Oh, jeez. Oh my gosh, there are so many good ones. I'm thinking about the amazing God we've just made. Let's go with...
Not to interrupt, but
oh yeah,
I just wanted to note that because the enemy of Izara is the underworld, and the demand of Izara is blood sacrifice, I assume that like when beings are immolated in order to worship Izara, they are denied to the underworld. Like they don't go to the underworld. They just like cease to exist altogether. And this is why the underworld is so angry about Izara.
And then everyone in the church paints it as like becoming one with the Zara, but they just vanish.
Yeah, right. Well, maybe they do become one with the Zara in some sense. They become part of your life force, right? So
True.
I feel this is a real bad decision. I might go for loyalty.
Loyalty. Remain true to your word and to your allies. None can doubt you. They might deny what you say, but in their hearts they recognize the truth and conviction of your words. Okay. So you choose loyalty.
I'm very loyal to this murdery death cult.
Uh-huh. And what is the second one you choose? You choose 2.
Oh yeah, I see it. Choose 2. Oh jeez. Purity's like really calling out to me because there's nothing pleasurable about being on time.
Oh yeah.
But
uh-huh. Be very Protestant work ethic, but I also feel like this church is like very like ornate, right? Because we've already established that the robes of the clergy are ornate. So I mean that may or may not be a thing. I don't know. But if purity is the one, penitence, do not needlessly kill intelligent creatures. Are you kidding? It's like, oh, but actually, we always need to kill intelligent creatures, so it's no big deal, right?
No. I'm gonna let's go for
oh, but it could be really good though, right? Because it could be like, do not needlessly kill intelligent creatures. The needful death of intelligent creatures is immolating them for Azara, so you can't kill any creatures except for if you burn them alive.
Oh my god. Terrifying. I'm really scared too.
Unfortunately, the actual like mechanical thing is when you try to prevent a conflict, take +1. So
yeah,
I don't know if that's on message.
No, yeah, I need to. Oh, Jesus, these are very skewed towards being good, and we're very quickly derailed from that.
You just have to be good for a given definition of good that may not be consistent with our definition of good.
Exactly. Okay, let's go for courage and loyalty. That sounds pretty.
Okay.
Yeah. Refuse to let those who have power abuse it.
Whenever you defend another person and choose to damage the attacker, you deal full damage. Okay, I could see that, because, like, then you both have a defend thing. Because, sorry, Elfar also took a defend thing as their background trait.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, okay, so just choose an advanced move, in addition to that.
Oh, yeah. Alex, did you have your advanced moves yet? Or is it me now?
Sorry. I'm having trouble deciding.
Yeah, because the thing is that they give you access to a lot of them to start with. There's only the ones that require level 6+ you can't take.
Excellent. I was kind of toying with the idea of taking divine favor, but that is now also a terrifying prospect.
You serve a particular religion, order, or deity which grants you power beyond that provided by your own moral code. You gain the divine agent move from the cleric, as well as one other cleric move of your choice. Treat your level for those moves as if you were one level lower. I mean, you could take that.
But we would be doubling up on.
Then you would have double cleric, which, I mean, it could be a thing, but. I mean, okay, I will say this. Because you took hero, it would make sense for you to take quest. Because your hero background interacts with quest, right? When you pursue your drive, or when you first take on a quest, take +1 forward. So, yeah.
Yeah, let's go for quest. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Cool. Um.
I think I might go for divine intervention.
All right, divine intervention. When you make camp and pray to your deity, lose any hold you already have for this move and hold 1. When you or an ally would take damage, you may spend this hold to call on your deity and have them intervene, negating that damage. Okay, so you can do like 1 move of damage negation for every time you make camp. Cool. The blinding intervention of Azara. Okay, cool. It's interesting because they've they've made the quest move a lot less specific than it was in vanilla Dungeon World. It's a lot more sort of like wide open. So yeah, that's interesting. Okay, well, let's continue here. In our character creation. So next is your drive. So Aelfar drives you could take are sacrifice, and this is not sacrificing others, it's sacrificing yourself. Dedication or vindication. I kind of feel like, oh, it could totally be dedication, right? Make a sacrifice to follow the precepts of your faith.
Just feeling like the sacrifice I'd be doing wouldn't be my own sacrifice.
Yeah, no, I feel like that's more the sacrifice drive, right? Dedication, I feel like you're sacrificing something or someone to follow the precepts of your faith. Although it could also be, I mean, vindication, I could also see harm another to prove the superiority of your deity. But I think maybe, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think dedication or vindication is the more appropriate one here as a drive?
I feel like the way dedication is worded makes it feel like it's personal sacrifice that it's all about.
Mm-hmm. Well,
yes,
is it? I don't know, because it just says
if it's making any sacrifice, then I'm totally down for dedication.
I think that's how we should interpret it, given the precepts of your faith, right? Like, the precepts of your faith are about sacrificing living creatures. So if you're dedicated to your faith, you are going to make those sacrifices, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so you're dedicated.
That I am.
Aelfar, the dedicated cleric. Okay. This is about sacrifice. Okay, and now Octavia, your drives. No rest for the wicked. Deny mercy to a criminal, heretic, or unbeliever. Protector of the just. Endanger yourself to protect someone weaker than you or above the law. Punish the innocent for your own gain or goals. Which one do you think is the correct choice for Octavia?
I'm leaning towards no rest for the wicked.
Mm-hmm. That was a good one.
Yeah,
I've seen that do some pretty interesting things in terms of the story.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, that one is in vanilla Dungeon World as well. Yeah, so deny mercy. All right. Good. This is gonna be fun. It sounds like we're gonna be playing a game of Dogs in the Vineyard here, pretty much. Okay.
I'm fine taking Protector of the Just for like sort of kick that down a notch. I'm fine tanking into like.
No, I think this is good. I think we have a tone and a direction for the game, and that's what you want. All right, so next is your gear. And yeah, choose your starting gear.
Excellent. Is the starting gear like limited by a starting amount of coin we have, or
No, it's written on the second page of your character sheet.
oh, cool,
Under
cool.
basic
I see.
moves,
Yeah.
in the corner there, there's
In the
starting
corner,
load.
yeah.
And it also lists what your load is. So it says like load blah 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 or not, such and such out of 12. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And for the cleric, I think it's probably out of 8. Is that right?
Out of 10, actually.
Oh, out of 10, right. It's 8, 10, or 12, I think, is the different ones you can have. Yes, that's right. So yeah, so also note your load once you have figured out your starting gear. Just add it up from what it says there.
Oh, cool.
Oh, I should look at the thing in Dungeon World. Character thing. Choose bonds. Yes. Oh, and that watch, that pocket watch takes on a much grimmer meaning when you think about the fact that like the time thing for the worship of Zara is about like how much time you have left to live.
No, exactly. I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
No wonder, yeah, like you're right. No wonder it's so worn. She's always checking it to see how much time she's got left in this mortal realm.
Yeah, yeah. It's very much like that movie. What is it? In Time.
I've
The
not seen that one.
the super Marxist science fiction movie with like, isn't it like, was it like Justin Timberlake was the main actor or something?
Oh, I remember seeing ads for that.
Likewise.
Anyway, everyone has like a
Fun.
prescribed amount of time left to live, and they can pass it around between each other.
Wow, what a grim question to ask your GM when you discern realities or like look into the abyss or something.
How much time do I have left to live? Well, I don't think your holy symbol tells you, right? I think it's just a watch, but you look at it obsessively because, like, how much time has passed, right?
Yeah, and it carries all the time of the generations prior.
Yeah, right.
You know.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. So, have you done your equipment?
I have.
Yes.
I'm keeping track of this in a offline Word doc, and then I will share it with you, Kyle, since I can't edit the Paladin one.
Oh, yeah, you had to make a copy of that in order to be able to edit it.
Okay, cool.
But that's okay. That is fine. You can do this however you need to. I'm taking notes here as well, so it's cool.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so what equipment did you take?
I have a scale armor.
Yep.
Dungeon rations, and then a long sword and shield.
Okay.
And let's go with some adventuring gear.
Okay.
Which I'm guessing is like rope.
Yeah, it's the same as in World of Dungeons. Like, it's just
duct
like,
tape.
you know, whatever you need to use to adventure.
Cool.
Okay, and what about Aelfar? What equipment did you take?
I took chainmail, warhammer,
Okay.
shield, and adventuring gear.
You're so much more dicked up than I am.
And I realized just now, which I'm adding in, I also get dungeon rations, pulses and herbs, and a divine symbol.
Okay. Do you have the same divine symbol? Do you also have a clock? Like a pocket watch? Okay. Cool. I like the Warhammer. It's very very Warhammer. Very Warhammer the game. Yeah. All right. Okay. So I think I don't know. I mean, let's do the bonds and then let's I feel like we've been talking enough that we don't need to do character introductions. So let's do our bonds and then we'll do some final questions about the characters and then I will make an adventure.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Okay, so your bonds. Yeah, work pretty much just like in Dungeon World, although I think they added some new options here. So Aelfar, start with 4 bonds. Okay, so yeah, you can take. Like I'd say, like let's say you can take 2 bonds with each other. So, what do you think? What kind of bonds do you think you have with Octavia?
Well, if I'm like a weak, wimpy little cleric, it could be like
with a warhammer.
With warhammer. Maybe like whatchamacallit, Octavia is like my guard, or we're like traveling in a party together.
Oh, there are options you can choose from.
Oh, right.
It's under your drive on the first page of your character sheet. There's drive and then bonds.
Aha.
It should be pink. Yeah, the pink ones.
I mean, on the PDF.
Right, yeah.
Oh, on the PDF.
Yep.
I like the one, my god has plans for Octavia.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I can see that. Okay, so these are Aelfar's bonds. So my god has plans for Octavia. Alright. So my divinity has plans for Octavia. I wonder what they might be.
Not good.
I mean, kind of by definition, as a paladin, that's true, right? So, all right. And what's another bond? Well, let's go the other way first. So, Octavia, what are your bonds with Aelfar?
I guess, mirroring that, for what they've done, I am sworn to guide and protect. Sorry, what was your character's name again, Alex? Aelfar.
Yes, okay,
I'm sworn to guide and protect Aelfar.
All right. And Aelfar, what's your last bond with Octavia here?
Most of these don't apply anymore, because same god and all. So...
Well, actually, it could just be Octavia as a fellow worshipper.
True.
Because that's true, right?
Yeah. Why not? Let's go with that. Keep it simple.
Okay. And Octavia, what is your last bond with Aelfar?
Ooh, I'm tossing up between I've heard of their exploits and I'm impressed, but I'm also tossing up with taking them under my wing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if either of those are calling to you.
And of course, there's also I am in love with Aelfar.
I was thinking, I was like, I could throw that one out there. I'll see if Alex is comfortable with that one.
Whatever you want to do.
Is this going to be a blood sacrifice romance story?
It could be. I'm fine going with that if you want to go with it, Alex.
Oh, boy.
I'll leave it up to you.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, any of these, it's up to you.
They're all really good. Shit. I want to hear about some of their exploits. I think I want to know what they've done to impress me.
Okay, so I've heard of Aelfar's exploits. Okay. All right. Cool. So, well, to start with, Aelfar, what plans does your divinity Izara have for Octavia?
I'm tossing up between like is destined to kill some great demon or is destined to be a blood sacrifice.
Okay, but is that a thing? Is it a thing to sacrifice the faithful in this church?
Oh yeah, true. No, I feel like the faithful are protected.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm.
So maybe it's that she has to destroy a demon or
Something in the vicinity of she's going to do great things for the church.
yeah, okay. But like did you have a vision of any kind about Octavia? Is this how you know?
Like standing as a silhouette behind the rising sun over the corpse of a demon.
I like that.
All right, so you had a vision of Octavia standing astride the corpse of a demon, silhouetted by the rising sun. All right. All right. Octavia's victory over a demon. All right, and Octavia, why did you swear to protect Aelfar?
This goes back to the family lineage thing, where this is within our family to protect the clerics and religious folks of our our faith. And I kind of like the idea that my parents my mother protected Elfa's predecessor as well, so there's kind of like a
okay, so there's like a long established family connection.
Yeah.
Okay.
If that's fine with
Mm-hmm.
with Alex.
Yeah, and that makes sense, right? Because this is a church that is mainly uh, like the congregation, the flock are mainly nobles, right? So they're already obsessed with bloodlines, um, and so yeah, that would totally make sense. I could see that. Um, and Octavia is a fellow worshiper. Okay, I think that's very straightforward. And yes, Aelfar, what exploit of yours has Octavia heard of?
Oh,
I have a suggestion.
go for it.
Um, that one time when you were deep within meditation, you must have hit a point so um I don't remember it, but like you hit like another plane where the autumn leaves that were sort of like falling around you froze for like a second. And whether or not that's true, I don't know if that is, but that's sort of like what people have said about you. I'm not sure if like we'll be able to see that manifest like in your everyday life, but maybe there's been like a glimmer of this um like holy power that others have yet to display.
I
That's
like it.
my suggestion.
It was so holy that time froze around me for a second.
Okay, so
but
like,
yeah, which is what our people aspire for, right?
yeah, so is this like a mark of sainthood, like potential sainthood, that like people
Yeah.
say that like, yeah, she has attained such holiness that like she was momentarily able to halt time.
Yeah.
This is like a miracle that that she was able to work. Okay. Okay. Cool. So I want to talk a little bit about this setting. Um, so we've established that the Church of Izara is a church that is like patronized and made up of nobles. So do we think this is like a mainly sort of like agricultural society, because it's dominated by the nobility, or what kind of place do you think this is?
I mean, I guess I think time and I think like engineering and mechanics.
Okay, so it's more of a
But I'm not
like,
quite sure if we're that sort of steam
uh-huh, right. Yeah, I mean, it's
or
not that we
yeah.
couldn't be. It's just that it's not exactly what Dungeon World is like most
Yeah.
oriented towards. Because like if we had like, it's like we could do it, but like there aren't like rules for like guns and stuff so
Oh, that's
much.
a good point. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
um,
Maybe more candles and, and decadence. I don't know. What do you
yeah.
think, Alex?
Hmm.
I was thinking of like
Well, it
other
could be
time
like
markers that people would
older
use.
sort of mechanical technology, like water clocks and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And
Okay.
sundials and
Yeah,
um
yeah, 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 yeah.
It makes
Interesting.
sense with the pocket watches being the holy symbol.
Right. Okay. Yeah, so there's
I have a
like
pocket sundial.
very sort of like, so do you think these nobles live in a city? Um like they're not, are they out on their estates all the time, or do they like live in a city?
I'd say they live in a city.
Okay. So it's like
Yeah,
an
city sounds good.
urban nobility, and like they have like some kind, like, so are the nobles themselves like the artisans who make these like clocks and stuff, or do they have like a class of artisans who do this for them? Or is that something that the clergy does?
Ooh, artisan clergy. I mean, it makes sense for the clergy to sort of have that specialty, if that's right. Yeah, in the pursuit of.
So it's kind of like a meditative thing to build clocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's some prestige around, like, oh man, that's a nice clock. Like, you earn some points with the big guy kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. So the clergy are clockmakers.
That's pretty cool. I like that a lot.
Uh-huh. And okay, and it's sort of meditative. Okay. And I assume like this city is a place that is like open and bright, and like there's probably like a lot of like windows, and like it's not like your sort of dark medieval city. It's like a very like light-filled place because they're sun worshippers, right?
Yeah, lots of like white reflective surfaces.
Right, okay.
Windows, stained glass.
Okay.
And like, but the stained is like sort of gold and yellow and
white and gold and
those
yellow.
orangey colors, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a Puritan stained glass faction who says any stained glass is an affront to the god.
Right, because you're obscuring the light, or filtering the light somehow. So okay, yeah, I like that. So some churches have stained glass, and others just have like clear glass, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and then like sundials and water clocks. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, we don't use irrigation for farming. We use irrigation for stealing the time.
Yeah. Like I feel like it's probably like a thing where there's like a big like waterfall somewhere in the city, and like the water comes down and it's like channeled off into all these water clocks, these giant water clocks, and yeah,
exactly,
big hydraulic works. Okay, and so like so this is like a society of nobles. It's a noble dominated society. It's an urban society. Who did the nobles conquer to become the dominant members of this society?
Do you mean like previous inhabitants of the land, or?
Yeah, because like the thing that makes you a noble is that you successfully waged a war of conquest somewhere, right? Like that's how you become a noble in the first place, is you conquered somebody. So yeah, it could have been inhabitants of this land or inhabitants of a nearby land.
Could they be do they need to be sort of like human people, or could they be like sort of water spirits, or like some other kind of?
Yeah, totally. It could be something else as a fantasy world. So yeah, like it could be.
Yeah. I mean, oh, this is. I'm trying to like really like think about what I'm gonna say before I give an idea.
I mean, these are probably the people that typically get sacrificed to Izara, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was my initial thought is like perhaps the land came like pre-irrigated since it was inhabited by like water spirits of people who worship like water.
Mm.
Um,
They conquered
and so yeah,
water worshippers. Okay.
yeah, who may or may not have been sacrificed or chased out, and then we sort of like took advantage of these um intricately made like water systems or waterways or like the geography of the land that
No,
helped.
like I think that's really good though, because like it's like there were like these waterworks that existed, but then like the Azarans like converted them into water clocks as like a symbol of their domination of the land. That like, oh, like this was
exactly.
your thing and now it's our thing, right? Now it's all about
100%.
time. It's not about water or like agriculture or life giving. It's about like life extension and longevity and measurement. Yeah. That's really
I love
cool. Yeah. Okay. So were they like some kind of fantasy race, or were they more humans, or
Ooh.
like they probably like worshipped water spirits or something like that, but like what kind of beings were they?
Yeah. I'm thinking that either water spirits or people who worship water spirits, maybe people like sort of like how Selkies kind of turn into
right
like a fantasy form and also be human. Maybe it's that kind of thing. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. So is this like an island that we're on here, or like I'm trying to imagine like what the environs of this place are.
I guess when I had it in my head, I was thinking like a fjord, like either like a that kind of
yeah,
like maybe it's a little bit sort of
so it's near the
sheltered.
sea.
Yeah, it's like fresh water, but it's near the sea.
Okay.
Sort of like originally naturally formed through like melting ice flows, but now it's been sort of it's had people tend to it.
Okay. So there's like some kind of rocky mountainous kind of formation that has been created through glacial movement in the past.
And so, fine with that.
And so maybe they were Selkies in the past. Is what you're saying?
Yeah. Kind of because it feels quite magical and
for sure,
interesting, and lots of like weird water life.
Yes. Cool. Okay. All right. So the Selkies were conquered, and there's the problems with the underworld. Okay. And you've built up this city. All right, good. Okay, so why don't we take a break, and I'm going to try to come up with some kind of adventure idea. Oh, I have one question, though, first, about the quest. The Paladin, Octavia, what is your quest? That is what we should establish first.
So does it need to be concrete, or like
yes,
can it be a bit more abstract? Concrete. Okay.
It definitely has to be like a specific thing. So when you dedicate yourself to a mission through prayer and ritual cleansing, state what you set out to do, such as discover the truth about someone or something, slay a blight on the land, or something else. The GM will give you a blessing, such as a voice that transcends language or an invulnerability to bladed weapons. Stay true to your goal, and this blessing remains yours. So it has to be something specific, so I can judge whether you are fulfilling your quest or deviating from your quest. Yeah. So let's see. Let's look at the original Dungeon World text, and they have some more options here, I think, if we take a look at this.
Awesome.
Because I'm honestly not a huge fan of what they did with this move, because I think it's a little bit too vague right now. Whereas before it was maybe a little bit too specific.
You can find like nice middle ground.
Yeah. So okay. So quest examples: slay a great blight on the land, or slay X, a great blight on the land. Defend X from the iniquities that beset them, or discover the truth of X. So yeah. So just think about like general kind of quests that paladins would go on, like a grand adventure that they must undertake for their god. So it could be like conquer a place, defend a place, slay a monster, discover something.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning toward discovering a thing, or like killing a thing for a thing. If we're in this pursuit, if they sort of like we're pursuing, I guess like control of time or longevity, that kind of thing. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
So you're
perhaps there's some kind of divine artifact that we're after.
Oh, okay. So you want to so the quest is to obtain a divine artifact that has something to do with longevity.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like the quest for the Holy Grail or whatever, right?
Yeah, exactly. We're finding the Holy Grail of time.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
We could also tie in the my divinity has plans for Octavia thing.
Yes.
Oh,
saying like
yes.
A demon has the thing right now.
Yes.
That's what we need to kill to get it.
Okay, so find longevity MacGuffin. Cool.
Plot twist: the thing is a person we need to sacrifice.
held by demon.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and then to choose a boon, some examples they give here. Oh, but this is it's so different from what it used to be. Let's see here. If they still do that. Yeah. Okay. So, here's some examples of boons: an unwavering sense of direction to such and such a place, invulnerability to something or another, a mark of divine authority, senses that pierce lies, a voice that transcends language, or a freedom from hunger, thirst, and sleep. So it could be that, or it could be something else, but it has to be something. You have to choose a boon, some kind of superpower that you basically get for doing this thing for Azara.
Let's go direction. I feel like direction is going to be.
Okay.
I like the idea of.
So like an unfailing sense of direction towards your destination.
Yeah, like I almost picture it like a sort of that intrinsic pull, like magnetism. I'm thinking of that kind of thing. Like it's a siren calling out to me, kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. All right. So now let's take our break, and we will continue after that. So let's say awesome. Maybe a 15-minute break.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. So I'm going to stop the video here, and then we'll start again when we resume play.
Cool.